Yo, what's up, my people? What's up, all my beautiful, amazing listeners? Welcome back if you are coming back, and welcome if you're a new listener as well. All that good shit. Hope you're having a good day, good week, and yeah. So this week has definitely been weird as fuck for me. Um, I don't know, man. There's been a lot of shit going on. It's not like last week was any better, really. I honestly had a weird ass week last week as well. That's why, okay, so full disclaimer, I don't know, me personally, I thought last week's episode was really fucking weird. Um, but it got to a point to where I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm too tired and I have a bunch of shit to do this week. I don't want to record another episode. I honestly had recorded it like at 2 or 3 in the morning, like I do most of the other podcasts that I do. Mainly because that's usually when I have time. It's also because I can't sleep sometimes, just in pain or just tossing and turning, thinking about shit. And yeah, I can't sleep. So I end up getting up, just recording a podcast, talking a little bit, and then somehow I'm able to either ice myself, use heating pads or whatever the fuck, or just get some shit off my chest. Or, I don't know. I mean, it's not like I tell you guys really intense shit, but, sometimes it's just nice to talk about weird stuff that happens at work. I mean, get my mind off of all the other bullshit that I think about when I'm, going to bed, because, I mean, who doesn't do that shit? I don't know. I feel like everybody does. Or maybe I feel like everybody does because I do that shit. The lights go out and I'll just be laying in bed and I close my eyes and I'm just thinking about everything. It's weird. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one. Maybe. But, I mean, there's a reason why sleeping pills are a big thing. And I'm assuming it's not because people, just like to sleep faster or whatever the fuck. There are reasons behind it. I'm not saying that that's the only reasons, but whatever. Anyway, point is, this week's been a weird week. Last week was a weird week, and for those of you who thought last week's episode was weird as fuck, I apologize. It doesn't look like this one's getting a better start. But yeah, I honestly, I do not remember most of the shit that I talked about last week, but I do remember one thing. Really, or no, I remember two things. But one of them I wanted to address a little bit. I think I brought up Rogan and listening to him and how most of my female passengers think he's whatever the fuck. Now, I didn't mean. Well, no, so I did mean that and I didn't mean that at the same time. Well, I didn't mean the most of my female passengers think like that. I did mean that some female passengers think like that, and that's typically female passengers that are in relationships. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know. But then again, it also depends on what he's talking about. But then I don't know. It seems like most males are quiet or complacent, whatever the fuck I'm listening to. Or they just mainly just don't care. Usually females are the ones that say shit about what's playing, whether if it's a song that they don't like or it's a podcast that they don't want to listen to. I don't know. It's a weird thing. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I've ever had a male ask to play something. I'm trying to think, like, if I have ever had a male ask me to play some music. I honestly think that I may have had it twice out of all the fucking rides I've given. All the fucking rides. I think one of them was probably a guy that asked to play his own music. That's about it. And then I know for sure there was one other guy one time that asked me to play this one Drake song, and I was just like, okay, like I don't care. Um, but yeah, besides that, now that I'm thinking about it, holy fuck, there are a lot of females that care about what you're listening to. Holy shit, I did not expect it. Holy fuck, that is so crazy. Now that I'm thinking about it, god damn. There are a lot of females that care about what you're fucking listening to or what the fuck they're listening to. I mean, that could be because of the fact that I'm a male and I'm like whatever the fuck, I listen to different shit. I don't know. But that could also be just because whatever fucking reason. I don't know. That's a good question on why females are more outspoken about what they don't like to listen to. At least in my car. Fuck. I always have to fucking burp when I'm doing the podcast. Right before the podcast, hour before the podcast, no issues, no problems. And then all of a sudden I start recording, and then I'm just like, my body's like, okay, now, this is when we do it. This is when we do it. When we're recording. When we're recording. But yeah, that is so fucking weird. But I don't know. Music in general is weird though. I mean, it's funny now that I'm thinking about the fact that females say stuff about music or whatever, what the fuck is playing. I'm thinking about it, and a recent example of how males just don't say shit is something that happened the other day. I honestly don't even fucking remember if I talked about this yet. But if I did, I'm sorry. But anyway, so recently I had 4 fucking guys in the car. Well, including me. So it was 3 guys in the car. And they're all in a shared ride, so none of them fucking knew to each other, like a pool, basically. And none of them knew each other. And so in the day, I cycle between stations on Google Play Music. And yeah, I had on like what the fuck was it called? Like the happiest pop hits or some shit like that. Basically a bunch of pop songs ranging anywhere from the 80s to now, basically. I don't know. It jumps around from generation to generation, but it's a bunch of pop songs. The funny thing about pop songs is that there are a good amount of feminine pop songs that play. Normally, it's not an issue. Well, it never really is an issue. And it wasn't really an issue this time, but it was just funny this time. So basically what ends up happening is I get these fucking 3 guys in the car, and we're driving, and every single song that's coming on is the girliest song, and you can visibly see how it was starting to get the guys uncomfortable slowly, one by one, based on who was portraying the manliest version of themselves, the quote-unquote manliest version of themselves. It was funny. It was fucking weird. It was like the guy in the front seat, he was the one that was just like, he's just like, you know what? I'm a tough guy, yeah, you know, got my chest out, all this bullshit and everything. And then there was the guy behind me, he was kind of like a little more mellow. And then the other guy, he was more like, seemed like an introvert, like he's just kind of shy, didn't want to say anything, didn't want to, whatever. But yeah, you slowly saw how it started to affect each guy one by one. And as each song was playing, it was like more feminine as it was getting, each song was getting more feminine as it went along, basically. I mean, it was going like, it was playing basically artists like Kelly Clarkson and shit, just like back to back. And normally the station plays pop songs, but it plays different shit. It'll play like, maybe it plays Lady Gaga, then Bruno Mars, then Ariana Grande, then Justin Timberlake. It jumps around. And I mean, you can argue that those male songs are made for more of a female artist. I mean, a female audience. But realistically, there's some variation, right? But this was probably 15 to 20 minutes of a bunch of female artists back to back. And I thought it was so fucking funny that I didn't change the station. Instead, what I did was raise the volume. I just raised the volume because I see them slowly getting visibly uncomfortable. Just because, I mean, it wasn't like they fucking hated the songs. Like, it was, or they were getting uncomfortable because they were weirded out. Is mainly, I say they were getting uncomfortable because they started posturing themselves in a more manly fashion, I guess you could say. It was like they started adjusting themselves and they're like, ugh, like all coughing and shit, and just like starting to puff out their chest just a little bit. And I'm like, maybe pose a little bit, like start to lean up against the fucking door with like their bicep flexing a little bit. I'm just like, what the fuck? I'm like, bro, this is weirder than just fucking chilling and listening to this music. But for some reason, I found it so hilarious that I had to raise the volume a little bit. And I was just like, you know what? I'm already going down this road. Might as well double down. Fuck it. Let's go. Let's fucking hit it. But yeah, man, that shit was so fucking weird. It was so weird, but it was so fucking funny at the same time. I finished dropping off all three guys. They were all within a block distance from each other, basically. It was like drop off one, then another block, drop off two, then another block, drop off three. And yeah, man, that shit was just hilarious. That after the last drop off, I just fucking started fucking laughing like so goddamn hard. Because I was trying to hold in my laugh during the fucking ride. Because I'm like, all these songs are just ridiculous. Like, the odds that I just played a bunch of feminine songs, like the moment that I get a bunch of male passengers. Because, I mean, there's usually like a mixture or whatever the fuck. Or I'm not even in the stations, like, it's just like, okay, whatever. But yeah, it was weird. Yeah, anyway, whatever. I keep saying whatever. That's fucking weird, right? It's weird. Now I'm gonna say, yeah, whatever. Anyway, any fucking way. Speaking of songs, speaking of music, now I'm thinking about it. I actually had some pretty amazing. Well, one of them was pretty amazing, but this group of gay guys I picked up the other day, one of them was pretty fucking dope. Like, it's shocked the shit out of me. And what I mean is that well, first, the reason why I think about all this was not only just because of music, the feminine music and shit, but also because I ended up dropping off the last guy of the three guys close to where I picked up the group of gay guys that I picked up the other night. And yeah, I had picked them up basically from this like one place, and I'm driving. I'm listening to some fucking hip hop and shit. Like, I think, who the fuck was playing? I think it was like Post Malone or some shit. Whether you like him or not, whatever. It's not the point. I was listening to that shit, and the like one of them says, "Hey, is it cool like if we play our music?" I'm just like, "Yeah, go for it, whatever." And like they start playing this fucking weird ass fucking music, like this music that sounds like it's out of like a musical or something, and I'm just like, what the fuck am I listening to? Because I'm thinking that they're gonna be playing some like club hits or some shit, because they came from like this place that looked like it was like bumping and shit, and like they start playing some fucking music that sounds like out of a musical. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, this is fucking weird. And then all of a sudden, they start telling like one of them like, oh, you should sing blah blah blah, whatever the fuck. And then like they're all fucked up, and they're playing music, and then they change the songs, and they're all singing just like to the music. And I thought it was fucking funny, because they're all very feminine, like flamboyant gay guys. And the guy, I thought it was fucking hilarious, because the guy in front, he had such a deep voice that he was trying to do the high notes, and it wasn't exactly working for his voice, because his voice was so fucking deep. And I thought that was kind of really hilarious, especially after the fact that the dude in the back that I thought was like fucking amazing, he just starts fucking singing like crazy good. And I'm just like, holy shit. Like, this motherfucker can sing. Like, fuck. Like, this dude can sing. Like no fucking joke. Like, this dude is like the best fucking singer I've ever heard in my car. And I've had a lot of people that claim they could sing, that they're singers and all this bullshit, and they've sang in the fucking car. This dude's all hammered as shit, and he's fucking singing. And actually, one of the best songs that he sang was fucking a Lady Gaga song, which I had never heard, but it fucking sounded dope as shit as he was singing it, and I was fucking completely captivated as I was driving and shit, and I was just like, what the fuck? Oh, excuse me, shit. But yeah, I was completely fucking captivated. I thought it was so fucking dope. And then all of a sudden, the other dude that's sitting next to him, he's like, yeah, the old guys like that at this one fucking place or whatever the fuck. And I guess like the other dude sings that song to fuck old guys or some shit, which took me completely out of the moment of being captivated by this guy's voice. And I'm just like, wait, what? Because this guy's fucking singing amazing. He's singing beautifully. And I'm just like, holy fuck, I'm completely captivated. And all of a sudden, this other guy's like, yeah, I sing that to get dick. Basically. It's basically what he's saying. And I'm just like, bro. I'm like, you can tell them that later. Like, let this dude sing right now. But whatever. I thought I should mention that, because, yeah, that was really fucking cool. Because, yeah, I mean, I get a bunch of fucking people that claim to be singers, or a bunch of people that claim to be artists, and then they try to sing, and they sound like complete shit. You know, the ones that sound the worst are the ones that talk shit about other singers. Oh my god, they're the fucking worst. They are the fucking worst. A song will be playing. Like, I don't even remember if I talked about this on the podcast, but I remember there's one fucking time there's this Justin Timberlake song playing, and there's this girl that was talking shit about it, and so she starts trying to fucking sing, and she's like, he could have done this, and like she fucking starts singing, and I guess like the chorus is, I'm pretty sure I talked about this. Anyway, the chorus is like repetitive or whatever the fuck, and she's all talking about the difference. I'm like, dude, you sound like shit. Like, don't talk shit to this dude. You need to work on your own skills before you start critiquing other people's skills and all this shit. Yeah. No, I actually do think I talked about this because I think I talked about it when I was talking about the guy and the girl relationships and everything. But yeah, reference to another podcast. If you haven't listened to that, go check it out. I don't remember what episode it was, so listen to all of them. listen to all of them. But yeah, man. It was fucking... It's always fucking crazy, and it's always fucking funny when people talk shit about other artists and they are complete shit themselves. And you know why it's so common? Why the shitty artists are the ones that talk the most shit? Well, I don't have a definitive answer, but I have a guess. It's because the ones... Well, it could be because of a bunch of reasons. But sure, it's the ones that aren't good enough. Or they could be envious. They could just be... Well, I guess... Yeah. Well, basically, they could be envious and they can just... That could just be a way of them basically taking the blame off themselves and their own predicament in their own situation. You know, when you're shitty and when you're shitty at something and you think that you're good, or you think that you should be at a better place than you are in a certain spot, you start to talk shit about other people in better spots. Instead of being not even just happy for them, but just being okay with wherever the fuck they're at. You just start to talk some shit. You're just like, man, fuck that person, man. You know, I should have that fucking position. I should have that job. Motherfucker can't even do this. Motherfucker can't even do that. Fuck them, whatever. And you're so focused on hating on them that you're not focusing on bettering yourself. And you know what happens? You end up getting stuck there for longer, which causes you to become more hateful of people that are progressing, which makes you resent a lot more people, which makes your life fucking a little less fucking happy and a lot more shitty. A lot shittier. Makes your life a lot shittier because you're just focusing on everybody else and you're like, fuck them, fuck that bullshit, fuck this, fuck whatever the fuck. And you're just hating on everybody because you can't focus on your goddamn self and you can't critique yourself. You can't be introspective and you can't think about whatever the fuck it is to get you out of whatever the fuck predicament it is, or to get you to that next level. Or maybe you're too afraid to take that next step, that next level, so you are hating on everybody that did. Maybe there's that. I go from fucking talking about people that singers that talk shit about singers in my car. Just talking about this. Because, I mean, that happens with every other fucking field that I talk to in my car. Actors, the same fucking way. Voice actors, the same fucking way. Makeup artists, same fucking way. Production assistants. Practically almost everybody in the entertainment industry, unless you're doing well. You know, there's the people fucking in other industries, like some aspects of tech. You know, actually, no, take that back. A very minuscule amount of times does it happen in tech. Because majority of people that I've picked up that work in tech are very kind, very amazing people that are willing to help you out and everything. And this mainly, now that I'm thinking about it, it actually mainly happens in like those jobs, not necessarily dead-end jobs, but jobs that people kind of work at for fucking ever. Like insurance people, like whatever the fuck office job it is, working 9 to 5, same company for 15 years. Then you change positions, but you're at the same company, same hours, same bullshit, just a different title, different department, and you think you're doing better for yourself, but you're getting the same pay, and the cost of living is going up, and you're still in the same spot. All those in the entertainment industry people, they're mainly the ones that hate on others. But I mean, it's not to say that this doesn't happen everywhere else. And it's not to say that it doesn't happen in the other fields that I just don't get to hear. You know, because I'm sure this happens in people's heads, but maybe they just don't like to share it with people. Maybe there are people that they just want people to think the best of them, so they don't share all the negative bullshit. Or maybe they're just smart enough not to share it with a fucking stranger. A stranger in a rideshare vehicle that might just go on a podcast and talk about it. I don't know. You know, that's actually funny that I mentioned that. I had a passenger the other day. He was drunk, and at first I thought he well, it's so stupid that I'm just like, at first I thought he knew the podcast because the fact that of how many listeners I have, and like, what the fuck would be the odds? But anyway, yeah, there's this guy, and he gets in the car, and he's like, go, 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 go. I'm just like, what the fuck? I picked him up at some brewery, and he's like, go, 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 go. I'm just like, what the fuck? I'm like, okay. I'm like, everything okay in there? And then he's like, yeah, just gotta leave before shit goes down. And I've had people tell me that before, and it's usually when a fight's about to break out, or when fists are getting swung already, and people just want to get out of there because they don't want to get hurt themselves. They don't want to be involved in any of the bullshit. So they just dip, right? So I'm like, dude, were people about to like throw down in there? Were they swinging? What the fuck? What was happening? And then the dude starts speaking in like some code and shit, like very vague terms, and he's like, you know what, man? No, it wasn't like that. It was like, you know, when you do stuff for people, like sometimes they don't think it's much, but you think it's a lot. And like, yeah. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Like, dude, what the fuck did you just say right now? And of course, I'm trying to be polite and shit, so I'm just like, oh, yeah, I get you. Whatever. And I'm just like, okay. I'm trying to think, how the fuck do I either get out of this conversation for one, or try to figure out what the fuck he's talking about so I can fucking get him to chill out, whatever the fuck, because he still seemed tense. I'm like, get him to chill out in my car and just whatever the fuck. I'm like, I can maybe play some music, see if that fucking calms him down or whatever the fuck, or if he's still thinking about it in his head. I don't know what the fuck. Dude's drunk, I could tell. And I'm just like, dude. And like, this is all within like a couple seconds of me responding to this guy in this conversation. And I'm just like, dude, what the fuck is going on, man? And yeah, so I don't remember what the fuck I said, but I was just like, yeah. Something like, yeah, oh, okay, yeah. That makes sense. When people are, some people just don't appreciate your work. Or it's like, yeah. I don't know, some stupid shit. But then he was like, yeah. It's just problems, man. I'm just like, no fucking shit. It's just problems, you dumb shit. Like, what the fuck? What else would it be? But, yeah, and then he continues to go on. but in vague terms. I'm just like, okay. He's like, yeah, sorry. I just don't want to. I'm sorry about talking like this. I just don't want to say too much details. I'm like, oh, it's okay if you don't want to talk about it. I'm completely fine with it. I was just questioning mainly because you got in the car and you were like, go, go, go. Like if there was a fight going down, and apparently there wasn't. You just had some drama that apparently you don't want to talk about, which is completely fine with me. So I'm giving you this completely quick and easy exit to get out of this conversation so we can listen to music and we can chill for the rest of the fucking ride, right? Dude's so drunk, doesn't get it. He continues. So I'm like, fuck. Okay. So he continues. He's like, no, it's not that I don't want to talk about it. It's just, I don't know if our conversation is our conversation. I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about right now? And then he's just like, I don't know if this is going to be anywhere else later. And then when he said that, I was just thinking, I was like, my podcast. I'm like my podcast. Oh shit. This is a listener, but he doesn't know it's me. Bullshit. Nah. Well, I did think that. I'm not gonna lie. I did think that for like a split second, and then reality came to my mind, and I was just like, dude, the fucking odds that would happen aren't that fucking whatever. I have more fucking listeners in like New Orleans and like the Carolinas than I do in LA. Nah, I actually have a good amount of listeners out there, according to my stats. But anyway, shout out to you people that are all the way fucking out there listening to people in fucking LA. Anyway, point is, dude's talking, and then he's just like, he's saying all this shit, and I'm just like, oh shit. How do I tell them that I have a podcast? I'm probably gonna talk about this. I'm like, no, it's okay. I don't need to tell them. And I'm just like, let me just try to see what he's talking about. So he's just like, yeah, I don't know if this is going to be between us, man. Because, people sometimes have GoPros all over their car, man. And you don't even know. Then you end up somewhere, and then the footage is everywhere. And then now it's not a conversation that I have between you and I. It's a conversation that I have between the world and everything. And I'm just like, oh, I'm like, you're worried I'm gonna show your face, and it's gonna show you talking about whatever the fuck, and the person's probably gonna see. I'm like, no, buddy. I'm just like, nah, bro, you're too drunk to explain this to right now. I'm like, let me just try to ease him up because he's still tense at this point. I'm like, I just need you to relax in my car because tense drunk people aren't, any tense person in a car, in your fucking car, in a small confined environment that you're basically trapped in, completely defenseless, where you cannot keep an eye on the other person for that fucking long. It's unsettling, to say the least. So yeah, I'm trying to get this guy calmed down. I'm just like, that's completely against the rules and regulations of this platform. I'm like, they'll basically terminate you as a driver. Just to let you know, I'm not the type of person that's gonna risk that for anybody. I'm like, I'm not gonna release any fucking footage, any recordings of you, of anything, because of the fact that I don't want to lose my job. This is my main source of income currently, and fuck you, you're not that important. I didn't say it in those words, but basically. And he's just like, no. He's like, no. But how do I know that? There are people that can say that. And then all of a sudden he jumps into, yeah, there are people that can say that, like the fake Uber drivers that come pick up, women, and they kill them and rape them. I'm just like, bro, how many fucking scare tactic fucking articles or fucking news reports have you heard or read? fuck, man. I'm like, whatever. You're a fucking idiot. And so I'm thinking that, but I think that about everybody that references those, because realistically, they're few and far between. I mean, think about it like this. There's the stereotypical mailman, goes crazy, goes back to work, shoots up the whole place. But realistically, how many mail carriers go up to your residence regularly and deliver mail to you and nothing happens? How many? A lot. You dumb. There gonna be a few bad apples. Yeah, that's a fucking phrase you hear a lot. You know why? Because there are a few bad apples in this goddamn world. But you know how many other people are in this world? A lot of goddamn apples. Many orchards of amazing good apples. Amazing. All you hear about is a couple bad ones. And how many stories can you reference of that happening? Realistically, how many? I mean, you hear about people saying that happens, but realistically, how many stories are there where that happens? And how many stories are there where it's the legitimate driver that does something bad? How many? Because there's a lot of stories where people just get into cars not paying attention, and it turns out it's somebody pretending to be the driver that they're supposed to be. Well, at that point, it's the issue of the passenger. Because the passenger had all the driver's information, had all the vehicle's information, and obviously they were dumb enough to get into a vehicle without realizing that, hey, you know what? I'm supposed to get in a fucking white Nissan fucking Sentra with a license plate 555. And I got into a fucking black Honda with a license plate 777. Well, whose fucking fault is that at the end of the day? Is it the fucking driver, the rideshare driver? No, it's the fucking idiot that pretended to be a goddamn fucking rideshare driver. If somebody's pretending to be a cop and pulling over people, do you blame cops? No. You blame the fucking idiot that tried to pretend to be an officer. It's the same thing, you dumbass. What the fuck? Shit, man. If this is like that one fucking, what the fuck, Catch Me If You Can fucking movie and shit, where homeboy's fucking pretending to be a fucking pilot and he's pretending to be a doctor and all this shit. Do you blame fucking pilots and doctors? No. You blame this fucking person that's impersonating this fucking people in this field. Duh. So why is this any different? Shit. I mean, maybe I just take it a little too personally, because I'm a driver myself, and I personally take full responsibility for all my passengers all the time, and I really care about keeping each and every single passenger safe and as comfortable as possible. Right? Maybe I'm just a little too, but yeah, I always think it's stupid when people reference stories which aren't that many in relation to how many rides are given each and every single day. They reference stories of people impersonating drivers. Well, dumbass, it's not the driver now, is it? You fucking idiot. Like, it just doesn't fucking make sense. But I mean, people are gonna be people. But anyway, back to the story. Basically, the point was, I basically started schooling this guy on it. I'm just like, you know what? That ultimately is, a lot of times, it's the passenger's mistake. I'm like, I know passengers are inebriated sometimes, but realistically, it's just like, that's not the driver's fault. That in no way is the driver's fault. The driver is not responsible for people being sober enough to be able to order a ride and to get into their car. The driver is responsible for getting to the location, waiting for the passenger to get into the car, contacting the passenger on certain rides to try to get them into the car. But if they can't do that, there's only so much that the driver can do. Realistically, in a lot of cases, you don't see a picture, you don't see a real name. Sometimes you don't even see a name. My fucking dog's being weird as shit. Why are you making some weird ass noises? Anyway, so with all that lack of information, how are you supposed to try to get somebody in the car? How? What if Dum Dum's so fucking fucked up that they're not even answering their phone? Which fucking happens. Just, what the fuck? Because they're not answering their phone, they're not checking it, and they don't see that you left already. Because Dum Dum didn't answer their phone, Dum Dum didn't get out to the car fast enough. Whose fault is that then? No, I'm not saying that this shit should have happened to these people. Not whatsoever. I'm not saying it was right that any bad shit should happen to anybody. But I'm just saying, don't blame the wrong people for bullshit. That was basically the point. That was the point I was trying to get across to this guy. And so I'm just saying, yeah, blah, 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 all this stuff that I basically said. And I'm just like, all the regular bullshit, like, drivers are actually in a lot more danger daily than Lyft passengers or Uber passengers. Really, rideshare drivers are fucking in a lot more danger because we, like I've said before, we have to experience people that don't have any background checks whatsoever, don't have a name, don't have an image on their account. We don't have any information besides a way to pay for the ride, which realistically can get bypassed super easily without having any of your legal information attached to it. Us, on the other hand, your drivers, can't exactly do that now, can we? No, because of the fact of taxes. Taxes are the main reason why they have all our information. I mean, it's also because of quote-unquote background checks, which they do honestly have. But realistically, I mean, they're going to have all your information because of fucking taxes. Because, I mean, they have to write down who the fuck they paid and all this bullshit. All this fucking bullshit. But yeah, man, I'm like telling him all this, and then he's just like, yeah, but I have sisters and everything, and I get worried about them, and even aunts sometimes that they want to take a ride like super far, and then I get worried about them. I'm like, bro. I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? And like, I'm letting him speak because of the fact that I know dude's drunk. And I'm just like, okay. And then all of a sudden it's like, dude, but I feel like I offended you. I'm just like, nah, bro, I'm not offended. Realistically, I hear a lot of bullshit all the goddamn time. I just honestly like to spread information and knowledge because, I mean, I can't blame somebody for not knowing what they don't know. All I can do is try to educate them, try to give them more knowledge, some knowledge that I believe could be beneficial when relating to this topic, this subject, and allow them to make their own goddamn decision. Because people at the end of the day are just a bunch of grown-up kids, and kids don't like when you tell them what to do. realistically, at the end of the day, majority of kids don't like when you tell them what to do. Now, there's this amazing quote from the Caesar Milan book that he basically says, you can lead by fear and intimidation or trust and understanding. I choose to lead by trust and understanding. Now, I don't like to tell people, you need to fucking believe this and you need to do this and everything. You need to go blah, blah, blah. Nah, bruh. Trust that they're going to come to the conclusion themselves and understand that it's going to take a little while for them to fucking come to that conclusion. Realistically, you need to grant them the ability to do so themselves, because you know what? You fucking took a minute to come to that conclusion yourself. Realistically. Good or bad, that's kind of how life is, man. People need to figure out their own goddamn bullshit in order to get through it. And regardless of who you are, you've gone through a phase in your life where you thought back at the age you are now, and you're like, God damn, I was a fucking idiot. Whether it was when you were fucking 4 years old and you're like, there's a goddamn tooth fairy, if you believed in that shit, or you're just like fucking whatever age people believed in Santa, or maybe you're in fucking whatever age. Like maybe you're fucking in junior high or high school and you're just like, I'm going to be with this person forever. Not to say high school sweethearts don't exist, but yeah, how many people are in relationships in high school or junior high and they don't end up with the person for that long? Yeah, vast majority, right? Yeah. I mean, there are times in life where you just gotta learn shit. Everybody's learning constantly. And if you're not learning, you need to reevaluate your goddamn life, motherfucker. Because you just can't remain stagnant. You can't remain where you're at. It might be comfortable. It might be easy. But realistically, you need to constantly challenge yourself. You need to constantly push yourself. You need to constantly fucking do things to help yourself grow. Because if you're not growing, then what the fuck's the point? If you're at the same point that you are right now in 20 years, what's the fucking point? Really? What the fuck's the point? There's no goddamn point, really. If you're just gonna be where the fuck you're goddamn at right now. You're just gonna be fucking pushing the same shit, doing the same shit, living the same way, but everything around you's changing. And eventually you're like, holy shit. You start to look around and you're like, wow. Everything's really changed, huh? Everything has really changed, huh? That shit happens. And I've seen it way too goddamn often. Way too goddamn often in people that should not have experienced that. But because of one reason or another, they got held back. They didn't believe in themselves. They never had the opportunity to learn that they could do something other than what they were told to do. Or they just never learned to think in a different way. Some amazing fucking people get into that rut where they just stay stagnant for so many fucking years. These are brilliant, amazing, funny fucking people. Some of the kindest souls, some of the fucking most amazing people that you'll ever meet. Now I know you might be thinking, well, maybe there's an argument for that. Maybe there's an argument for staying stagnant in certain areas in order to benefit others. Maybe there's an argument, but at the end of the day, there could also be an argument for, no, they're just really amazing people because of the circumstances that they had to overcome, and then they got to a point to where they were doing a little better, and they just stayed there. But imagine the people that are so amazing that you meet, and the possibility to where they could end up being, right? Now, what I mean by that is, like, look at a fucking, maybe somebody at a grocery store. Maybe you go to the same fucking grocery store all the goddamn time because you've lived at your place for years. You go to the same fucking grocery store. There's the same person checking you out all the time, and he or she is fucking scanning shit, make you laugh, ask you how you're doing. You know what? Like, checks in on you all the time because you see them all the time. You develop this personal relationship with them, and they are an amazing fucking person. And it turns out that they've worked there for 20, 30 years. They've never thought about anything else. Never thought about doing anything else. They're just an amazing person. Now think about somebody else that might have that same personality of meeting you, respecting you, understanding you, and speaking to you one-on-one, giving you the same respect that you would give another human being, and trying to help you in whatever way possible, along with making sure that you're okay. Good example. The Rock. The only difference between The Rock and the person in the grocery store is that The Rock he didn't become stagnant. Dude didn't stop. He kept pushing, kept taking steps forward. You know, I remember when I was a kid, I loved The Rock, dude. He was one of my favorite fucking wrestlers. I used to watch that shit, WWF and then WWE, and then I stopped watching it because eventually, after you get to a certain age, anyway, there's some people that still like it at older ages, but whatever. Anyway, it's a different point. But dude didn't stop. I remember when he was fucking wrestling, and then he started coming out with movies, and people were talking shit about him in movies, and they're like, "Oh yeah, man." They're talking so much shit. They're like, "He can't be an actor. Who the fuck wrestles and then becomes an actor?" I was watching each and every single fucking movie that The Rock was in because I thought dude was the shit as a wrestler. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? Yeah. Dude was the shit, right? Dude was the shit. I fucking loved watching him as a kid. And yeah, so I literally watched every single movie that he had came out in. And then all of a sudden people started noticing, hey, you know, this guy isn't just some wrestler that's trying to do movies, because that happened plenty of times. Didn't go well for a lot of people, but this guy is an actual entertainer. You know, and I'm sure there's a lot of shit that went on in the background. This guy's a good person. I mean, you hear people that talk about The Rock, and it's not just his social media, his Instagram, his visual fucking presence to the public. It's the stories that you hear about in the background. The stories of, hey, you know what? Every time I see The Rock, he comes and he makes sure that I'm okay. And even though he doesn't need to, he makes sure that I'm okay. You know, that just means that there's an amazing person that just kept pushing. And I'm not saying that each and every single person at his level is an amazing person that kept pushing, but you got to think about it. There are just amazing people out there that are amazing. And if you looked at it on a chart, all the amazing people start off at the same spot at a low point, right? because everybody has to move up from that, right? So they start at the low point, and as they're going across the graph, they're going up, and then it gets to a point to where they split off. The people that end up working at the grocery store or the liquor store or the office or whatever the fuck other place they end up working at for fucking 30 goddamn years, that shit stays flat the whole way through. The other people are people that didn't stop when they got to that comfortable point. You know why? Because they realized that life is not supposed to be comfortable. They realized that, yeah, they got to that point because of the fact that life was uncomfortable and they had to have a good fucking attitude to get to a better place. But they realized that once they got to that better place, that realistically there's even better places to get to. So why stop here? If you're climbing a mountain, you don't walk halfway up and look out and say, this is a good enough view. You keep climbing your ass up that goddamn mountain until you get to the top and you see the amazing view that not many people get to see. You keep fucking going. And you don't goddamn stop. You don't fucking stop. But sometimes there are people that do. Why? Because there are people that they get to a certain point and they're like, this is good enough. This is good enough. You know why? Because maybe they were at the bottom of that mountain. They had their phone out. They were trying to take a picture. Hey, you know what? I can't get the city line perfectly in this image. They're like, let's hike up the mountain, try to get a better picture. They start walking up the mountain, and one person asks the other, hey, is this high enough? And one person looks in their phone and they're just like, yeah, this is good enough. You know, that's one fucking scenario. The other scenario is that they are climbing up that mountain. One person asks, hey, can you take the view? Can you take the picture from here? Is this high? Is this as high as you need to go? The person's like, no. I want to get the best view possible. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep pushing. Even though this view is good enough, I'm not going to settle for this mediocre ass shit. I'm going to keep fucking going till I get to the goddamn top and I get the view that not everybody's going to have. Not everybody's going to be able to experience. Not everybody's going to have the fucking energy, going to have the will to get up that goddamn mountain to get that fucking picture. But you know what you're going to do? You're going to fucking move your goddamn ass and get your lazy fucking ass up that fucking goddamn hill. Get up to that top, get that picture, and feel good that you did something worth doing. And you know what happens after you take that picture? That shit doesn't stop right there. You think, hey, you know what? I climbed up this mountain. But you look to the left and you see, oh shit, there's a higher vantage point up there. You know, this shot is amazing. I'm not going to deny that. This shot is the best fucking shot that I've ever had. But that shot up there, something that even less people get to experience, is something that I have to strive for. Something amazing that I have to do that not many other people have to do. not other people are capable of doing, basically. Man, I honestly don't remember why the fuck I got into this rant. This is another thing. This is something that fucking happens doing this. I start talking about shit, and I don't remember why the fuck I started talking about this, or where the fuck I was going. But hopefully I was able to fucking get through to some of you. Get through to some of you to realize, you know what? Hey, you know, I need to fucking push through bullshit. I need to not deal with some bullshit. You know, I need to not settle for bullshit. I mean, I don't even remember did I finish the fucking story about homeboy in the car? I don't know. Long story short, dude was in the car, started talking about his sisters and all this shit, and he ended up he fucking kept talking about vague terms and shit. He ended up piecing all this bullshit together. It sounded like something happened where he was put in the host position for this get together, and it didn't seem like he was appreciated in the way that he felt that he should be, because the other person was paying too much attention to the other people, but this person cares a lot about him and all this stuff. I don't know. Whatever. But I don't know. Damn, now I'm thinking about all this shit. I'm trying to fucking figure out how the fuck I got to here. How the fuck I got to here. I know you listeners are like, yeah, it's super easy. And you're probably yelling at your fucking car, your fucking headphones, or whatever the fuck you're listening to this on. And you're like, it's super easy. You got here talking about this. Well, bitch, I don't remember. My memory's all fucking shit right now. It's all fucking shit right now. But yeah. People gotta persevere. They gotta push. They gotta not hate on other fucking people. Whether you're a singer, a fucking entertainer, or whatever the fuck. You gotta just be fucking nice. Because like I've said before, it's crazy how kind and politeness goes such a fucking long way. And that was again proven to me this past weekend. This weekend, I had, not each day was so amazing, but I think it was Saturday. I want to say it was Saturday that I just had back-to-back amazing fucking rides. I had amazing goddamn people, some amazing, awesome people that were just getting into the car. There were some people I was bonding with, some people that were just polite, super polite to me, and other people that I just gotta talk to. And like there was this one guy that I picked up from Dodger Stadium, and I took him out to Hollywood. And dude was drunk, like drunk as shit. He got into the car and he was just hiccuping like crazy, and he sounded like fucking like a cartoon version of a drunk. Like picture a cartoon version of a drunk, like hiccuping with like little bubbles popping out of their mouth and shit. That's basically what the fuck this guy sounded like. And yeah, he just started asking me about work and about everything, but he did it in a good way, to where I didn't mind talking to him about it. Now there are people that just go directly, how much do you make? What do you make? What do you take home? What do you earn? What's your salary? This guy knew how to talk to people. He had a good way of going about it, to where I didn't mind talking to him about certain things. Obviously, I didn't get into details on certain subjects, But there's one subject that I did get into detail with. Unfortunately, I can't speak about it yet on the podcast. Unfortunately, the day that I do speak about it, everybody will hopefully understand why. But yeah, it's just something really heavy that I've been dealing with. And yeah, I was just able to talk to him. Dude was super kind and understanding, and he just was cold listening. And he almost I joke about and talk about I play therapist doing this all the time, but it's crazy when people play therapist with you. And they help you out just by listening. You know, because at least for me, it helps me talk things out. It helps me talk things out with people. Even on this podcast, it helps me talk shit out. It helps me to talk shit out. But yeah, I just was talking to him, and I was so fucking stressed last week and just thinking about so many goddamn things. And I had that ride, and it felt like a weight was literally lifted off my chest. Like, I started talking about it, and it started feeling like something was pressing down on my chest. Like, I was just like, fuck. I'm starting to take shallow breaths. I'm having an issue getting through it. And at the end of it, it was just like, holy shit, I can take a deep breath right now. Holy shit, this is amazing. You know, it's so fucking weird sometimes that you're able to basically talk about certain things. And basically how, let's say there's some issue or some problem or something in your life that you're thinking about over and over again. You're constantly replaying in your mind, replaying in your head, and you're just like, you might think to yourself, oh, I don't need to talk about this. I think about this all the time. If I just talk about this, it's going to be like just repeating it in my head over and over again like I do. Well, realistically, it's not. The reason is your mouth cannot go the speed of your head. At least in my case. And talking things out forces me to slow everything down to allow me to process everything better. It's kind of like if a car speeds by you 100 miles per hour, you might get a decent image or a decent idea of how the fucking vehicle looks. But if a car goes by you at 5 miles per hour, you're going to get a really good idea of how that goddamn vehicle looks, right? It's going to be a complete different experience going 5 miles per hour versus going 100 miles per hour. So the point is that you're going to be able to see the goddamn difference. You're going to be able to experience the goddamn difference. So that's how it is for me for talking shit out. Oh, excuse me, shit. That's how it is. And with that guy, it was just helped. It really did. It really fucking did, which really surprised me. Now, I talked about that subject a couple other times during the weekend, but that definitely was one that did affect me. Did help a lot. So I appreciate you. Shout out to you, wherever you are, man. I really appreciate that. I really fucking do. I really appreciate it. Yeah. I mean, that was another thing, though. I mean, there was other shit that wasn't that heavy. Like, there was this one kid that he got in the car, and at first, I kind of found him annoying. I'm not gonna fucking lie. I kind of found him annoying. It was a fucking shared ride, and dude gets in the car, and it's there's another passenger in the car already. He gets in the car, and he's fucking has his phone on loud. That irritates the fuck out of me. Like, bro, take your shit off loud and respect other people that are in your vicinity. I hate people that just fucking play shit on loud. It's like, bro, go get yourself a pair of headphones. Go get yourself some cheap headphones. They're like $5 headphones. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to listen to your bullshit. Little speaker on your fucking phone. No thank you. So at first I was fucking annoyed. He gets in the car and he does that, and I'm just like, shit. Like, the only good thing is that I have to drop off this passenger super close. And I need to make a 3-point turn, and as I'm making a 3-point turn, he's like, you have a charger? You have an Android charger? I'm just like, fucking shit, bro. I'm like, yeah, give me a second. I'm fucking making a 3-point turn or whatever the fuck. And then he just keeps looking over at me, and I'm just like, bro, I can't fucking turn the wheel, fucking shift it between drive and reverse and give you the fucking thing right now. Because especially the fact that I need to disconnect it from my phone, take it out, pull it out over the steering wheel, and then hand it to you, whatever the fuck. And then he's like, okay. I go drop off the other chick, and within seconds of her getting out of the car, he's just like, so do you have a charger? I'm just like, fucking shit, bro. At that point, I don't know. I just was kind of really annoyed. And then I was just like, because he's still fucking playing that shit loud as fuck. And then I'm like, yeah, give me a second. So I fucking ended up giving him, because at the same time, he fucking keeps asking at these worst times where I'm having to do complicated shit. It's not like I'm fucking parked or I'm going down the street fucking straight with no fucking stops or anything. I'm like fucking turning, maneuvering around these vehicles and all this bullshit. And I fucking give it to him, whatever the fuck. And I start driving, and I'm listening to this, what the fuck, the phone audios. And I'm just like, what the fuck is he listening to? I was gonna ask him, but then I'm starting to listen, and then I just hear fucking the voice of fucking Kratos. All of you who know Kratos is, shout out to you people. For everybody that doesn't, it's this character from a game called God of War. Yep. And he's listening to the fucking one of the cutscenes. For those of you who don't play video games, it's like the animated version of the game where it looks really super polished and it looks almost like an animated movie, in a sense, and that basically looks super good, but you're not able to control anything. You're just kind of watching the story unfold. So yeah, he's watching these cutscenes, and I listen to it, and I'm just like, I recognize this, because I played the fucking game. I love that goddamn game. That game is the fucking shit, man. That game is the shit. But yeah, I hear it, and I'm just like, oh fuck. At that point is instant change in demeanor, instant change, and I'm like, oh, this guy, he's a little, he just doesn't understand social cues. And he's just too into, like, whatever the fuck. He's just too into the fucking cutscenes. I'm just like, okay. I'm driving. I'm just like, I'm like, oh, so you watching somebody play, or you just watching the cutscenes? And he's like, oh, I'm just watching the cutscenes. I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. Just curious. That's a good fucking game, man. And he's like, oh, you played it? I'm like, okay, I got this guy. Then we basically ended up started talking about the game, and I was just like, yeah, dude, that's a good ass game. He's just like, oh, I only played fucking one level once, so I might as well. I was gonna watch the story, all this shit. It's like, oh, well, it's a good fucking game. It's a really good game. And he's like, yeah, all this stuff, blah blah blah. And then we start talking about like other video games. Basically, the whole fucking ride, the whole rest of the ride, we're like bonding over video games, which I thought was pretty funny. Cause, yeah, I don't know, it was a bunch of nerdy shit, basically talking about video games, which is funny because that's not the only nerdy shit that I fucking talked about that goddamn night. I actually had a bunch of nerdy ass conversations. Like, I was talking to these couple chicks about fucking anime and fucking cosplay and all this shit. I'm just like, what the fuck kind of night is this, man? It was definitely a cool night. I personally, because I'm pretty fucking nerdy myself, but it was a cool night because everybody was cool and it was just interesting conversations. But yeah, there was this one chick that she was talking about how I picked her up at some performance or something that she had, and then for some reason we started talking about anime, and I know why. It was because she had mentioned that she wanted to go home and play Magic the Gathering on the computer. And then I was just like, oh, that's pretty cool. I was like, but you just said that you have work in like 7 hours and you're gonna go play fucking Magic the Gathering for 3 and you're only gonna sleep for 4. She's like, yeah, well, probably a little less because the work is in 7 hours. So I have this. I'm just like, oh, fuck, that's fucking horrible. I'm just like, why not just go to sleep directly? She's like, I gotta leave or whatever the fuck. And then she starts talking about, I mean, sometimes I'll even watch like anime after, and whatever the fuck. Oh no, she mentioned the name of a show and then she's like, oh, it's anime or whatever the fuck. I was just like, oh. And we're talking and then somebody else gets added to the ride. Again, this is a basically a pool or basically a shared ride. And basically somebody else gets added to the ride, and then by the time this chick's talking about how into Magic the Gathering she is, and she's like, yeah, me and my friend dressed up when we went to this con and something con or whatever the fuck. It wasn't Comic Con. It was I forgot what the fuck it was called. She's like, it's a smaller one basically, and I guess there's a picture of her on Reddit that got posted a bunch of times because it was her dressed as a character playing Magic the Gathering. And I was just like, oh, that's cool. She said the name, but I was just like, I don't fucking know. Full disclosure, I played sometimes, but I don't know the characters' names. I've played a few times. Well, a little more than a few times. I've had free time in the past. And yeah, I played, but it wasn't like enough to get super fucking into it. But yeah, she was talking about, she fucking knew all these characters' names and all this shit. But yeah, she's in the middle of talking about this fucking anime thing, and she showed me the fucking anime that she fucking just, it looked like she was in a professional costume, which was crazy as for one. Two, she said that she made it herself, which I thought was fucking crazy as hell as well, which props to her for that. And as she's showing me that, the other chick gets in and she's like, oh, can I see? She looks at it and she's like, oh, this is amazing, blah blah, I wanted to dress up as a Renaissance, blah blah blah. I guess she was going to like a Renaissance event the other day or something, but her friends bailed, so she didn't have a ride. So she just had her whole costume that she had made herself and done herself that basically just sat there. And I was just like, oh, that fucking blows. And it's funny, the conversation went from that to all of a sudden drinking alcohol and all this other shit, which honestly surprised the fuck out of me. It honestly surprised the fuck out of me because it got to a point where we were talking about different flavors and different things that we drank and everything. And they kept talking about sweet drinks. And me personally, I'm not a sweets person. So I've never gravitated towards sweet fucking anything really, but especially not fucking sweet alcohol. And they were talking about drinking fucking all this sweet shit with fucking alcohol. And the anime chick was talking about, oh yeah, I like to fucking drink this and that and all this stuff and some shit. It was a lot of drinks that involved dairy mixing like milk or milky fucking drinks with fucking alcohol. And I'm just like, bro, what? And I mean, I know there's like Bailey's and Kahlua and all that shit, and that sort of is kind of a little milky-ish a little bit, but or sort of sweetish, and where you can mix with like milky-ish drinks and stuff. But I mean, at the same time, personally, I'm just like, dairy and alcohol are probably two things that shouldn't go together. But whatever, if it works for you, it works for you. And she's like, yeah. Sometimes I even like to mix it with my ice cream. I'm just like, what the fuck? And she's just like, yeah, I like to mix it with my ice cream. And she started talking about all this shit. And I'm like, fuck. This is crazy. And I just thought it was so fucking funny. And she was just, apparently, she was telling me, I'm trying to say too many things at once. She was fucking funny because of the fact that she was talking about how she doesn't go out to drink at bars very often because she gets the most elaborate drinks, which we all had different ideas on what to get at a bar, which I'll go over in a minute. But she's like, yeah, I like to make most of the drinks at home and stuff because I guess she's like a broke college student, can't afford to go out to the bar all the time. Anyway, so we were talking about what we get at the bar. Me personally, my philosophy is, you know what? I'm just going to get something super simple, 2 ingredients. This bartender can't fuck up. Unless I know that this bartender knows how to mix a good drink. I don't want to have a certain drink that I want, and each time I fucking order it, because I'm going to get a fucking refill. Because I am. So each time I fucking order it, I don't want it to taste different. So even if this person overpours this one fucking drink that I get that only has 2 ingredients, it's not going to taste drastically different than the other drink. It might taste a little stronger, a little weaker, but it's relatively going to taste the same. Now, if you have multiple ingredients, if this person fucks up and mixes the second ingredient more, and then mixes the fourth ingredient more the next time, and then mixes the first ingredient more, depending on how many drinks you get, it's going to taste drastically different each and every single time. Granted, the more drinks you get, the less fucking the flavor matters, but realistically, you don't want that shit to happen. You don't want to fucking get a Long Island fucking iced tea and that shit come out yellow the first time and come out fucking orange the next time and then fucking yellow the next time. And like, bro, what the fuck is going on here? I've had that happen before. There are bartenders that are shitty. So that's my personal philosophy. But bartender's consistent. Alright, go to this place. I've gone to this place a couple times. I've seen that bartender make drinks before. Or I've seen the bartender make drinks for everybody else that's at the table very well. Then you know what? I'll order a fucking other drink. But me personally, I'm just like, I'd rather not take a chance. Make it easy on people. Make me me personally, go for the Jack and Coke. Jack and Coke, nice and simple, easy. Let me just get a Jack and Coke. People are like, okay, blah, blah, here's your drink. I'm like, all right, cool, I'm cool, chilling. Then one of them was like, obviously there was the anime chick that was like, oh yeah, I need to go get all extravagant drinks because I don't go out that often, so I want to get extravagant drinks, like these crazy complicated drinks, and I'm just like, fuck, that's crazy. And she's like, yeah, when I go to the bar or whatever, I have friends that pay for me, so that's about it. She's like, that's why I get them. And then there was the other chick that she was just like super cheap, and she's just like, I just get simple shit because it's cheaper. And I was like, that's one way to do it. And she's like, yeah. She's like, I just get gin and soda because it's cheaper. And I'm just like, oh, okay. But I mean, that's one way to look at it too. I mean, if you want to go out, you don't necessarily want to spend that much, and you still want to drink and be around fucking other people drinking. That's not a bad way of looking at it. But I thought it was funny because she had explained that first, and then I was just like, at first I was like, oh, I kind of think the same way, and then I was like, oh, it's similar, but it's not for the same reason. And then she's like, yeah, you like to go simple too because you like to go cheap. I'm like, I guess that's a perk, but realistically, it's because I don't trust bartenders. I don't trust a lot of bartenders because not every bartender is a good bartender. Of course, there are plenty of good ones around, but yeah, I've just had way too many shitty fucking drinks that are poured, or I've seen way too many drinks that are poured. Way too many shitty drinks that are poured. But anyway, I don't know why the fuck this got into drinks. Whatever the fuck. Yeah. Whew. Shit. It's a pretty decent podcast. But I think I talked about everything I wanted to talk about. Pretty fucking sure. Oh. One quick thing before I go. Oh my gosh. Oh wait, should I even say it right now? You know what? Fuck. Should I fucking say it? Fuck it. It's already going long enough that I might as well. A bunch of other content I could share later on anyway. The other night had a weird experience. A weird experience where I fucking picked up a guy and a girl I used to hook up with in a ride, and that shit was awkward as fuck. It was super weird. They get in the car. The girl gets in the car first. I'm just like, I like slowly turning around. I'm just like, hi, how are you guys doing? And then I see in the rear view mirror, because I didn't completely turn around. I turned my head to look in the rear view mirror, and then our eyes catch each other's. My eyes widen, her eyes widen, and we're just like, oh fuck. The guy gets in because the guy's the one that ordered the ride, and then he's just like, hey, what's up, dude? And I'm just like, oh shit. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, what do I say? Like, do I say something? Like, I don't think I'm supposed to say anything. And obviously she's probably thinking the same fucking thing. Obviously they were fucking going out now or whatever the fuck. And we start driving. Like, he tries to talk to me, dude. He's fucking completely oblivious the whole time, by the way. dude tries talking to me, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm giving him short answers because at the same time I'm trying to think about all this whole situation. I'm like, this is so fucking weird right now. This is so fucking weird. Like, what the fuck? Like, this has never fucking happened before, and I hope it never happens again. But he's he's fucking trying to talk to me, and this fucking chick is just right there. And then once he like kind of slowly stops talking to me, or slowly stops trying to talk to me, he starts trying to like be all like cute with the chick, like hugging her and like kissing her on the cheek and everything. And she kind of like pulling away, like all weird. And then he's like, "Why are you being weird?" She's like, it's just because I'm kind of cold." She's like, let me warm up, and then when we get there, like we be all cute and everything. And he's just like, okay, okay, that makes sense. I'm just like, bro, this is so fucking weird. I'm like, this is so weird. This is so fucking weird. Luckily, the ride wasn't that long, but I mean, dude was super polite. He was super fucking kind, and he just had a lot of energy. I'm honestly sure he was on a good one. But yeah, I just wanted to share that shit because I had never had that happen before, and that shit was fucking weird. I'm telling you, it was super fucking weird. Like that moment where she fucking slides into the car and I caught her eyes with mine, and I was just like, oh shit. Like I recognized her instantly from the fucking nose up, and I'm just like, oh shit. And then she's just like, oh shit. I'm just like, fuck. I'm personally, I'm glad she didn't say shit because I'm like, I didn't want to cause problems or anything. Luckily, whatever the fuck happened between us wasn't serious or wasn't whatever the fuck. And yeah, that shit was fucking funny though. I was just like, holy fuck, this is fucking weird right now. This is fucking weird. So obviously, I thought I had to share that with you guys, with all of you listening. But yeah, anyway, I hope all of you have a good rest of the week. I'm gonna go ahead and call that a podcast because this is definitely one of the longer ones that I've recorded, and hopefully y'all like it. I'll probably be releasing one either later this week or early next week. I kind of have to decide on when I would like to release that. Because I'm going to record it later this week, but I'm depending on what day it is, I might just end up releasing it on like Monday or something. I don't know. We'll see. Just keep an eye out. Follow me on social media, Nightmare Rideshare on Instagram, and I need to get the whole Twitter thing settled out. Because Nightmare Rideshare apparently is too goddamn long for Twitter. So they can go fuck themselves. But yeah, Nightmare Rideshare definitely on Instagram. And yeah. Peace.